Hey, what's up guys? Welcome back to your third beginner C programming tutorial. Today we're going to actually write our first program that's more meaningful than the previous tutorial. Along the way I'll show you how to apply comments to your code as well as printing multiple outputs on the same display. But before that I want to dig deeper into the concept of variables and math operations as well as order of precedence. From there I'll show you how you could get inputs from the user so you could process that information to whatever extent you like. Of course, to review all these three concepts, we're going to write our first program. It's a temperature converter. And like always, we'll conclude the presentation with a review of our code, just to ensure we grasp the concepts. So let's begin by opening up CodeBlock. Okay, let's open up a new project right here and select console application and see. Okay, I'm going to call mine lecture 3. That's sufficient. Okay, leave everything default. Finish. Okay, go ahead, open up the source file, double click this. Notice every time we create a new project, by default CodeBlock gives us this tiniest program here, so be sure you include both of these directives because we'll be using some of the features from there. So continuing from last lecture, I showed you how you could declare your variables, and I told you have to specify the variable type. So I'm gonna work with integers today, so int. I'm gonna call my variable name x, and let x be 5, and another one called y, and let it be 9. Guys, don't forget these semicolons, okay? Now to print both of these values on the same screen, on the same display, this is what you have to do. You have to put %i, which stands for integer. That would fulfill one of the variable here. Since we're on print 2, all we have to do is put another I. Okay. Now separate right after the double quote, put a comma. What I'm gonna do, I'm gonna print x. Basically, x will take place for this the first %i, and then separated by another comma. I'm gonna put y now, so y will fill in for this second one. Now you print it, it'll be on the same line, 59 as such, or 5 space 9, okay, because I have a little space here between. If you want them on different line, recall I showed you guys the \n, the backslash, which is located right above the enter key on your keyboard. So let's put it and we'll see. Okay, right here 59 as such. You can print multiple values if you like. So let me remove this real quick. Okay, for instance, if I want to print y, another y, so I added 2 y's. I have to tell the program by typing %i, I added 2 integers, so I have to put 2 more i's. So let's go ahead and see that. Okay, as such, 5999. Okay, so let me show you that. Like I said before, we can perform all types of math operations with these variables. So for instance, we could put plus y. Let me just take 1 right now. Okay, and you could put minus, multiplication, division, and so forth. So we expect it. Let me declare a variable in another way. So I'm gonna call mine z. This is what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna put 20 minus 6 plus 5. Now what is the answer you anticipate? Is it 19 or is it 9? We'll see right now. It should be 19 because the order of operation goes from left to right if they are on the same rank, meaning plus with the minus, multiplication with the division, and so forth. So let's verify that. Okay, and as we expected, we got 19, not 9. Okay, when they're on the same rank, you perform the C program language perform the operations from left first, then to right. So the order of operation really matters in the programming language. And to help you remember the order, just think of the term PEMDAS, Please excuse my dear Aunt Sally. Basically, the P will represent parentheses. That means it's more higher importance than multiplication and division, followed by the least importance, which is addition and subtraction. So when you have a bunch of operations, like I said, you just operate from left to right. So for instance, here the parenthesis, as we know, is higher order of importance because this P goes first. So it'll be 6 multiply to 3, which I get 18. 18 divided by 2 is 9. 9 plus 4 is 13. So with that said, that's that. Let's do more exercises just to make sure we understand. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna erase all these guys. Let's do this one. Int x, let it be 15. 3 times 4 y, let me see, 8 plus 4. Okay, so let's print out these guys here. X, then I'm gonna terminate it, make it go to the next line so I could do my y. So x will be on the first line, then y will be on the second line since I ended it with the \n. So let's see the answers to these. So like I said, we got 20 because 15 divided by 3 is 5. 5 multiplied by 4 is 20. Notice it's not 3 times 4 first, because since division and multiplication are on the same rank as shown here, multiplication and division, it's on the same rank, it will operate from left to right. Okay, so it goes from this guy first, then this guy. So that's how we got the answer, 20. Same as with this part here. Okay, now I'm going to speak about commenting. Normally when you write your own code, at the very top you give a description of the code, what it does, put your information as well as the date it was written or modified and the reason why it was modified. So to do that, let's say to comment this, or you could do the other way and inside it like that. The difference between them is that the first one allows you to comment line by line, and the second allows you to comment a big blob of code. So for instance, if I want to comment this whole blob by the first method, I would do this, and then line by line, line by line, line by line, versus the other method, okay, versus this one. And don't forget, close it with this. It basically allows future readers to understand your code at a much efficient way, because by writing comments they understand it right away what they do. So whenever you make multiple functions, be sure to comment on those functions, what each function does, and don't comment too much on your code. The less the better. Don't comment something that's kind of obvious like this. Okay guys, let's write a program that will reinforce all the concepts we just learned. So we're gonna go take degrees Fahrenheit to degrees Celsius. Okay, so basically when we're dealing with degrees Celsius, there's a fraction involved, so we cannot use the integers because it only represents whole number. What we need is float. So float Fahrenheit. Okay, notice I didn't declare Fahrenheit to set it equal a value, because I'm gonna take this Fahrenheit and let the user put it. So I'm going to use the variable called Fahrenheit to store the value of the user. So let me go ahead and prompt the user as such. Please enter degrees in f. Okay. Now I need a command that will allow the user to enter input and store that value into the variable called Fahrenheit. And of course the command scanf will fulfill that need. So semicolon inside this, put double quotes first, and now you want to specify what data type your variable is. So to do so, %f, which stands for float, not integer. Okay, we're dealing with floats here. And right after the double quote, put a comma, and now put the variable name Fahrenheit, and hit tab. Okay, in front of this variable name, what you have to do is you have to hold shift and 7. You have to put this symbol here, the AND symbol, which is what we call the address operator. Okay, every time you use scanf, be sure to put this in front of the variable name. So now we need a mathematical equation that will convert the degrees Fahrenheit to degrees Celsius. So if you recall, the formula is 9, okay, times Fahrenheit minus 32 as such. And we need to store this into something. Of course, this is the formula for Celsius, and let's let it equal to that. And of course, you have to put the data type, and it's not an integer because it's a float. There's fractions involved. So let's go ahead and print this out now. Let's go and print this out real quick. So let me copy this. Your answer is you have to put %f, which stands for float, and you put Celsius because that's the answer you want to print. So let me run this real quick. So here it is, degrees. I'm putting 90.5, and here it is. Your answer is 32.5 in degrees Celsius, and that's all you got to do for this program. Everything up to now, it's kind of the same. The only difference is this scanf command. Every time you use scanf, don't forget the address operator in front of the variable name, and of course don't forget the semicolons for every command. Okay. And specifically, we were dealing with different data type here, float instead of integers. Okay. So I hope this program recapped all the concepts we learned today. So let me delete this garbage. Every concept we learned about comments, declaring variables, inputting from a user, getting inputs from user, order of precedence here. Notice this is executed first, then this here is multiplied by this expression here. Okay. That's all for my tutorial today, folks. See you in the next lecture. Please don't forget to subscribe.